Well, greetings, everyone. Hello and welcome. We are here with another Pemberton Family Legacy interview. We have quite an interesting guest today, I would say. And we're gonna lead this off with her introducing herself. So tell us who you are and also give us who your parents are.
Okay, I'm Clarice, and I decided to call myself Pemberton Cook, mainly because of my dad, not because it's my name, but it's because it's my father's name. George Pemberton and Faye Pemberton were my parents, and I'm the eldest of five, the oldest child of five children.
So you're the eldest of five. Go ahead and give me the names of your siblings.
Okay, there's Priscilla Williams, Brenda Pemberton, Richie Pemberton, and Charlene Pemberton are my siblings.
Okay, good, good, good. So how was it growing up as the being the oldest? Did you feel like you had to have some type of caretaker role or not so much? What was that like?
Interesting.
That's a good word for it,
I was
right?
I was the example one. Let me say that. I I considered myself adventurous. That's what I call it. And a few of my siblings would not follow me. So so yeah, I was pretty much an example. I was not as responsible as they would have liked me to be, to stay home with my siblings and tend to them when I should have. I had to learn a couple of lessons the hard way as far as leaving them in the house and going off to do what I wanted to do.
Mm-mm.
But I learned.
You learned, right?
Yeah.
What I know you mentioned you were adventurous. Where did that adventurous spirit come from?
I'm really trying to figure that out. I think my Aunt Delphia, Barbara's mother, was very adventurous. And then my mom had a sister on her side who married someone in the service and traveled. So I think it probably comes from each of them.
Hmm. Did you consider traveling a part of that adventure, or was it other things as well?
Hmm. Just everyday things as well. I was always trying something. And then when I experienced traveling, my first time was when I was 22. I was married and I traveled, and he was drafted into the service. And that was my first time ever on a plane or and having such a long distance. I went to Germany
Mm.
on the plane at 22 years old. And it's quite an adventure, quite an adventure. So that opened my doors for wanting to travel and see things.
That would going all the way overseas to Germany. My goodness, that's a completely different culture, all of that. Um, I know you got the opportunity to travel to Germany, as you mentioned, at the age of 22. Where did you grow up and how was your upbringing with your siblings? I know you said you had to learn some lessons and you weren't as responsible as the parents would like you to be, but how was it growing up and where did you grow up?
Well, um, we were brought up in Southeast DC project housing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, There were a lot of us, 5 of us, and mom and dad were from the country. Mom being from North Carolina, and of course, dad from Virginia. And just learning city folk was kind of tough for them and us, but they took good care of us. Very fortunate enough to grow up and get out and do what we've done. Very fortunate, yeah, to have the parents that we had.
Oh, definitely, definitely. What was there, did you ever experience, I know you grew up in DC, like in that area, but did you ever experience living in any of those places where your parents were from, like Virginia or North Carolina?
Yeah, that was one of the fortunate parts of it. During the summer, we would always
Mm-hmm.
spend our time, our summer in the country, either North Carolina or Virginia. Uh, Maybe a month and a half in each place,
Mm-hmm.
which was very fortunate, that we learned country life when we were exposed to other things other than our surrounding area. So that helped a lot.
Hmm. To me, that kind of enabled your adventurous spirit because you got the best of both worlds. You got to see, okay, this is what it's like living in the city. DC, mind you, city. You weren't just in any city. You was in D. Now that's the, you know what they give that name, Chocolate City. And
Yes,
so, and then you got
exactly.
to be,
You're exactly. That's a good point. Very good point.
what did you learn? Um, did you, I'm just getting a picture of your life right now, and I'm seeing you as this kind of like vibrant, different kind of person who can weave in and out of a variety of type of situations amongst your peers. What did your what did your peers think about your experience, or were other people doing the same thing, like being able to go to the country for a month and a half during the summer? What was that like, or was that even anything you thought about? How your peers' life differed from yours?
Later in life, I thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought about it during the time, and how fortunate we were to be able to leave project housing and go somewhere else, where a lot of our peers never went anywhere. The
Hmm.
one thing that I really liked about it, after I grew up and uh, learned about how love works, um, we were very fortunate to always get hugs. We used to get hugs when we left our parents. Then we get to where our grandparents and our cousins and them were. We get hugs there. We leave there, we get a hug. We come home, we get a hug.
Oh, just
And
hugs all
most
around.
people did not get hugged. Most people did not experience hugs or
Hmm.
closeness in our neighborhood, you know. Um, so we were very fortunate to have a lot of love in our lives.
Wow, that is beautiful to me. I never thought about something so simple as a hug. And what you said, you crafted those words so beautifully. You understand how love works. It's returning. Like I see that cycle. When you left home, you got a hug. When you got down here, the grandparents and these people gave you a hug. Then when you left there, you got a hug. Then you got a hug when you got back. And then it's just a circle. It was just going on and on and on.
Yeah, it was wonderful,
Wow.
wonderful. A lot
And
of people to love you.
mhm.
You know, they missed you. They cried when you left. So you felt loved. So
Do you think, I mean, and this is with your life experience, do you think some people are missing that basic love? Like, what are you, and why? Why are they missing it?
People hurt. So many people are hurting now. So many people don't experience that. I even have granddaughters um, whose grandparents have gotten hurt.
Hmm.
They don't know how to express love. It's mostly negative things. So it's a tough situation.
It is, and that hurt does breed them not being able to understand how to display love, how to receive love, how to anything. It's wow. I
Love,
never thought
love
about it like that.
is important. Love is important. Yep. That's what God tries to teach us. Love is important. Yeah.
Hmm. What lessons now did you mention God? What lessons have you learned about love from God and
Oh,
from your
he's in control, and that's all he wants for us. That's
Mhm.
all he wants for us. And it's the best thing for us.
Mhm.
All he wants for us. Yeah. That's my lesson I've learned in life. He wants the best for us because he loves us, and that's what he wants us to do. Yeah.
Hmm. I like it. I like it because God is love. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes we try to give this other language to what love is or how do we discover it. If you just look to God, it's like you can find love right there.
Yep.
it's
Absolutely.
it is right there. In keeping with this love train and talking about your upbringing and you being able to experience various environments, what is it you did for a living, Clarice?
I was adventurous. No,
There goes that word again.
I started out as a word processor in the government um, because they taught us how to type in high school. And they allowed us to take the business exam in high school, which is what they're missing now for the kids. But
Mm.
um, they taught us how to do that. And I started out as a word processor, and then I became a stenographer. Then IBM came out with their mainframe computer. I learned that. And then when I got that skill, I left the government and went to word processing for law firms. And then after that, I decided that um, words were not my forte, and I like numbers.
Oh.
Yeah. So I because I had the word processing skills, I was able to um, receive a job with an accounting firm who needed a new word processor because they were still using carbon paper and typewriters.
Mm.
They, it was a Jewish firm, and they took me in with my braids and all, even though the lady the headhunter that wanted to place me there, told me they wouldn't hire me with my braids.
Oh, yes.
But they did. They liked me. And I worked there. And from there, I decided, okay, it's time to become an accountant, not a word processor. So I went to school at 35 with along with raising my son, um, and received my bachelor's in associates and then my bachelor's in accounting.
Hmm.
And that's what I did from the time I retired.
How did you find the accounting field to be? Like, what did you get out of it?
I like analyzing things, so that was good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Took a lot of thinking, but and figuring out. And I like when you came to when I did figure it out and come to a solution for the problem, rather than law firms scratching stuff out. They would scratch things out till deadline, which could be at 10 o'clock at night, and change things and bring them back to you all the
Oh
time.
boy.
I got real sick of that.
I bet you did. It's like, okay, what are we doing here late at night? Y'all switching stuff up again? What's going on here?
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty bad.
Oh my goodness. How did you what did you do to excel in the field of accounting based on your analytical skills and stuff like that? What made you stay? Like how did you stay?
Well, I did do taxes for about 12 years. I worked in taxes. And
Mhm.
then I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. so so I went and decided to do private accounting, like balance sheets and audits, uh, things like that, making sure things were correct for the audits. And I like that better.
It's interesting because the more I talk to these Pemberton women, y'all all like to organize and work with numbers. What is up with it? Have you noticed that?
No, I hadn't noticed it.
I'm noticing it because I know, of course, we can look at Aunt Josephine, Barbara. My mom likes accounting. Um, who else? Well, she didn't really work in accounting per se, but the more and more I'm seeing, doesn't your sister, doesn't Charlene does finance?
Well, no, they do technical technical
Okay.
work, but still that's a lot of analyzing. I tried that myself. Um, but I found that I just settled for accounting.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of that includes math some kind of way. Yeah. Analyzing situations.
It's kind of, when you start looking at these trends, it's like, hmm, you start connecting, making some connections between different talents and skills and and all of that. It's fascinating to me because I don't work with numbers, but I like numbers. Like I've never been a person who's like, I can't get it. I can't get it. I took, up in school, I took up, through calculus and I was a whiz at it. It wasn't something that I was
Yeah, that's
afraid
it,
to
math.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. At least you're getting experience that you can evaluate all those things after interviewing everybody.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, because and that's part of sitting down with you is learning where do we get all this stuff from? Like, where does it come from? Like I can ask you this now. Your parents, what did they do? Y'all are living up there in DC. What did they do for a living?
Well, mom was pretty good at math. She was the budgeteer, so
Oh.
and we budget a lot. She taught us how to budget. But dad worked at like the State Department, and then he did some carpet cleaning. Worked in the mailroom, I think, at the State Department. But mom, she did, I think she did specialize in science. She wanted to be a nurse,
Hmm.
but she ran into dad, I guess, and And then they had me. So
Yeah.
yeah, she wanted to be a nurse and she was good at science and math. Or
Hmm.
I don't know about this side, you know. Uh,
Right. Right.
that's the thing. I'm not sure. You'll let us know, right?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely I will let you know once I mean I'm getting down to the nitty gritty. I'm getting all the scoop. You know, we gotta get the
Yeah,
scoop.
yeah.
Gotta get the scoop.
Good for you.
One thing, one thing I remember about you growing up is your diet too. How did you come to, because you're vegetarian, what are you
Yeah.
now?
Yes, I'm a vegan.
You're a vegan now. How
Yeah.
did you come to start living that lifestyle?
Well, um, I think coming up as a child, I've always been allergic to eggs. So I've always been kind of separated from other people who could eat eggs, which
Mm-hmm.
majority of them. So
Right.
I used to always pretend like during Easter when people ate hard boiled eggs. I used to take the little hard egg that had the mushroom on the inside, the mushy stuff, and peel it and eat it like
Oh,
everybody else, right? So I learned how not to eat certain things. That's the way I look at it. I learned how not to eat certain things. I had to be disciplined in that area. So when I met my ex-husband, he told me, and I used to always also have a problem with eating things like my mom could, being from the country, she could get a squirrel or a rabbit and clean it and
oh
cook
yes, you know.
it. I would always be, I'm not eating that.
Yes, yes. I know. Raccoons, y'all got me eating all kinds of stuff. Trying to.
Yep. And so once this guy came along and said, well, I'm a vegetarian, I don't eat meat. And I said, there are people out here that don't eat meat?
Mm-hmm.
He said, yeah. I said, really? And he said, yeah. And he cooked me a meal without meat. And I was satisfied with it. So then I decided, I started reading up on it. And I realized from what I read that it wasn't absolutely necessary,
Yeah.
you know. So then I decided, well, I'm going to give it a try.
Mhm.
And I've been there ever since. Almost uh 40 plus, I think.
Yeah, for all I've known you, because you come to the house. Oh, Clarice gotta have da da da, and I always remember that. And so now your eating had an impact on me because now I don't. I still eat seafood, but I don't eat meat, and I don't need to have it. It's nothing. I don't know how to describe it. I can, like the other week, I made myself some black bean and quinoa burgers. They were delicious. I was
Okay,
like, this
I
is
need to get
better
that
than anything
recipe.
else. What's the recipe?
I need to get that recipe
I'll
for
send it to you because I made the recipe up myself. Like I, you get creative. You gotta
yeah,
get.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get more creative because I got kind of stuck in what I'm used to doing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking for other ways to do it. Um, because I've gotten older. But one of the things, the other thing that made me do it was when I read of the health benefits, because all my life I've had asthma, you know,
Mm.
and I couldn't eat eggs. If I eat it, I'd get real sick. Um, I mean, very sick. And still do to this day, if I accidentally get eggs in me, I have to go to the hospital.
Wow.
So so when I read the health benefits and the fact that I used to take medication all the time,
Mm.
I thought, well, this is going to help me. I'm going to give it
Yes,
a try.
ma'am.
Not that I'm not getting anything, because I did find out that I have like a discoid lupus problem. And some of those things are just hereditary, and you're going to,
Yeah.
you know, it, my thing is to try to eliminate what I can. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my thing.
Yeah, because it helps you eliminate, it helps you manage, it helps you keep certain things at bay, or they don't affect you as much, because you've gotten the diet under control. And a lot of what I've noticed too is once you have your diet and you use the correct word, discipline, you're disciplined in that area, you start to become disciplined in other areas. You're like, well, if I can do this, I can do that.
Yes, yes. I
It,
used to call it mind over matter.
mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite vegan meal that you like to make?
I don't like to cook, to tell you the truth. What I like to
Truth.
make, let me see. I like spaghetti. I like spaghetti, and I do tofu a lot, and which is what
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to kind of get away from a little bit. Um, so I'll do fried tofu. I have a lot of. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I lost you. I think my
Just for
connection.
a second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like it went away.
yeah. So yeah, I like spaghetti, and like I was thinking today, I'll probably try to do a curry tofu with
Mm.
peas and carrots. I love vegetables. I can never get enough of vegetables. And peas and carrots, maybe some broccoli, tofu over rice, something like that. But most of the time, I like my meals. I'm just trying to find new things to introduce.
Yeah, you have to and this is literal, so you have to spice it up sometimes, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Try to
As
move
a,
away from processed stuff, because they have so many processed things now for vegetarians.
yeah.
Believe it, I used to make my own tofu out of soybeans and mash
Really?
and all of that, and soy cheese. I used to make my own stuff. But now you can just walk in the store and pick it up. They have the sausage, and I'm trying to move away. I didn't eat it that often, maybe once a month, but I'm trying to move away from all the processed stuff. So,
Yeah, it's tough because now what I'm noticing about the vegan food and the vegetarian food, it's becoming just as bad as the hot dogs and McDonald's, like to tell you the truth, because they want to make everything. They're like, "Ooh, we need to now make vegan Twinkies." You know, it's like,
yeah,
but did we really want Twinkies? We didn't really want them. Like, but y'all just gonna make them?
that's
Like,
true. And then they are all the fast food places coming up with the plant-based. I don't trust any of them.
me either. I haven't eaten it. I ain't eating it. I'm gonna make my own. Y'all, Impossible. Listen to the name, Impossible Burger. What's in there? Is it impossible? That's what I want to know.
I tried it when it first came out, but from a lot of vegan places sell it too. But I
Really?
can't digest it. I can't digest. My stomach won't digest it.
Oh, well, that's telling you something.
Yeah.
That is telling you something right there. Okay, so we know you are very analytical, adventurous. You've gotten to travel quite a lot in all of these adventures, I would call them. What has been a lesson you've learned throughout life? Like something that life has taught you, or it could be a lesson you learned from your parents or um, spouse, anybody, because life teaches us for sure.
That's for sure. Well, I think the main thing that I feel I've learned, and I think I mentioned earlier, that God is in control, you know,
Mm,
and um, we should go to Him and ask Him if this is what we need to be doing. Um, ask for guidance, and just do the best you can, you know. Uh, maybe have a plan and keep at it, but if that's not what you're supposed to be doing, it won't work out if you believe in God. So
mm-hmm.
basically, that's what I've learned. It's love. Love is important, very important.
Yeah. So important. Has there been has there been anything recently which has demonstrated how God is in control with you? Like it maybe a situation they ain't even got to be personal. It could be something you've seen and you were just like, God is really in control. And this is or or may not even be recently. It's could have happened years ago too.
Well, I noticed you had on here with your proudest moment was when my son was born.
Ah.
Um, but a lot of things that I probably would have done, I did not do because of him.
Mm.
You know, I call him my little savior. You know, he saved me from a lot of stuff.
Mm.
So um, when I say God is in control, I lost him, and I have to know that it was. I want to say God's plan, even though it might be hard to understand.
Yeah.
Um, but I appreciate the fact that He even allowed me to have him in my life. Um, and and for the time that he allowed me to have it,
Yeah.
because it was his son. It's his son. So I have learned that you just can't take life for granted. Really, it does not. It is not really yours. I mean,
Mm.
you're here, but it's God's life. And that's who you should credit. Yeah,
Your statement right there is poignant. It's this is not our life. We think this isn't even like you said with losing your son. He was your son. Yes, God gave him to you kind of on loan to, protect him and to care for him for the period of time he was intended to be here. And from
yeah,
there it's tough. It's tough to let go but then once God, going back to that, God is in control. It's like, okay, God, this
that's
this
right.
the message.
Very well put.
This is what you wanted from me. This is what you what do you talking about your son, what do you remember about him? Because I don't even know. Did I meet him?
I'm
Maybe
sure you
as a
probably
little
did.
girl.
He didn't come down that often. Because I had him in my 20s and 30s. I was so
Mm-hmm.
busy doing my own thing. I didn't come down as often as
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
did when I was younger. So he did come down a couple of times. Kelvin knew him. He hung out with Kelvin because that's where we stayed at
Yes.
Barbara's. He's a pretty cool kid, though, I thought. And I'm still hearing when I talk to people that everybody liked him, you know, and he's a cool kid. So very, he was adventurous. He used to like to go. We go to Myrtle Beach. We used to go quite often when he was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and he used to like to do the body surfing, go way out in the water and come in.
Oh,
And
wow.
I did too. I did too.
You was like,
And
both of y'all was out there surfing, catching a wave.
I remember one time he jumped off of a diving board, and the gentleman at the swimming pool said he never seen a young black man just jump off a diving board like that.
Hmm.
He was very fearless. I mean, he didn't have any fear as far as things, trying things. And
I
yeah,
love that.
that was my buddy. That was my hanging buddy.
I believe it. I'm sure it, and based off of his spirit and personality and who he was, y'all were a lot alike, in things y'all enjoy doing, your adventure, adventurous nature, not being afraid to go here and do this and try this and be like, I'm gonna be the next Olympian and all this stuff. Y'all was going for life. Y'all like, we gonna do this.
Yeah, that's funny you should say that because my granddaughter, he had two daughters,
Mm-hmm.
and the oldest one sent me a picture. She has two daughters, so
Yes.
I have three great grandchildren, and she sent me a picture of my 5-year old great granddaughter just jumping in a pool and putting her head all in there and everything. And I said to her, she needs to be in swimming lessons. Do you see how these girls are killing it
Yes,
for
ma'am.
these Olympic trials?
I agree.
Huh?
I said I agree.
I tell you, they are showing off.
Because they gonna be the next one in the pool, making the times and breaking records, all of that.
Yeah,
Because it doesn't take much. Whatever they desire, these are your great grandchildren. Whatever they desire to do, they can do it.
yeah,
And it's
exactly. Because
yeah,
they see it, they
mhm,
see us in that position.
yep,
Where we didn't have that. It was only maybe what, one or two when we were coming up. You know, but now, I mean, yesterday, how many girls were there? About 5 black girls,
I
6.
didn't see it. I'm gonna have to, now you speaking
Oh,
about it, I need to go watch the replay and see what was going on.
yes, look at it, and not to mention the girls, the guys as well.
Really?
The guys,
So they going
you
for it
have to
too.
see it, huh?
I'm saying they're going for it too, both the girls and the guys. That's
Yep.
amazing.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So yeah, check it out. This is really good. Makes you
Yeah.
proud.
Yeah, oh definitely, definitely. Yeah, because the other young lady did so good on the with the track running. Was that last weekend? I I believe I believe that was last weekend.
Oh, the one with the eyelashes
Yeah.
and the
Mhm.
one with the eyelashes and the orange
Yes.
hair. Oh my goodness, she looked like my granddaughter.
Really?
I was like, oh yeah, she reminded me of my granddaughter. My granddaughter doesn't have the orange hair, but they wear those eyelashes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
She had
ma'am.
long eyelashes, looked like they look like doll babies.
Yeah, I know, right?
Those Yes, it doesn't look real. Well, it's not real, but it really looks
No,
funny.
but I find it striking because I'll go shopping and stuff, and you'll be in the store and you'll see all the different young ladies with their eyelash, and they're so different because none of them are the same. Some of them get the longer ones, some of them get the more butterfly looking ones, some of them are thick, some of them are thin. It's
Really? I
oh
need to go to
yes,
the
it's an
store.
art, it's definitely an art form. So when I see them, I actually compliment them on them because I can tell the difference in the lashes. There's
What?
They really go all out getting these lashes. It's fascinating.
Well, I probably sound like maybe Aunt Anna and then when I came out with dreads.
Oh yeah, they probably was like, what did they say to you?
Aunt Anna said, "How you comb that?" I took my hand and I did like this. With
Mm-hmm.
my dress. But I'm sounding like her now. Why they got them eyelashes on there?
But each generation has something because if you think about Aunt Anna, and her siblings, which would include your dad, they didn't have who was wearing dreadlocks in there. Won't nobody wearing that style?
Nope, not at all.
Nobody wearing that. And how did you, now that we on the hair, because we talked about the food, how did you decide you wanted to lock your hair?
When I became aware of wearing my hair natural, I guess I was 22 or so,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to remember if I got a perm after the first natural. Maybe I did. And then I decided, well, I'm going natural, and then I cut all of my hair off. I remember my brother came to pick me up, and I came out of out of the hairdresser. He did a double take. He was
Oh,
like, "What in the world?
what's going on here?
Here, cut all your hair off." So, and then I went to Germany, and I wore an arrow there. And then after that, I just got tired of the cutting off, growing back, cutting
Yeah,
off and growing back. And then people going to barber shops and them cutting my hair lopsided and all that. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna try locks and see. So
right.
I don't have to worry about it so much.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I started. This was my third. When I did the sister lock, that was my third time. I cut them off twice
Gotcha.
because
Gotcha.
when it got to a certain length, I didn't like it as much. You know how some people can go through the growth all the way down to their thighs.
I know
I
I've
could
seen
never
them.
get past my shoulder.
Right.
I couldn't get past my shoulder. Yeah. But yeah, this last time I really missed the sister locks, but I think what they were doing it too tight in the top, and I start thinning and they start falling out.
Oh
My hair
yeah,
is thinning
it's time for
and they
them to
started
go
falling
at that
out.
point.
I didn't like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't
Yours
have
look
it
nice and healthy.
pulling.
Yeah, they some I mean, as sister locks, they had a tool where they would really, tighten it up,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just pulling on your head. And I think I should have, one girl told me after I cut them off, or before I cut them off, don't let them do it all the time in the top. Just let them do it
Mm.
around the edge and in the back. But don't let them do it in the top all the time.
That was great advice.
Hmm. Too late for me, but it was good advice. I could pass it on to the
To
next
somebody
person.
else, yeah. It's like when they
Yeah,
do it, make sure they're not pulling on your scalp, because all of that does, because it does lead to thinning. Because sometimes I even think about that with my hair, with the locks. I don't retwist it as often for
right.
that
You should.
reason, because every time you got to twist it, you tugging on that hair and you don't want to damage it.
That's right. That's right.
You do
And then
not.
the bottom part is healthier, so it's tugging on it. It's heavier.
Mm-hmm.
It's tugging on it too. So
True.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we gotta watch that.
Yeah, we definitely, definitely. Well, we are going to close. Do you have any final words or any words of wisdom you want to share? Because I know you told us your life lesson. We talked about God being in control. You talked about like your greatest experience being giving birth to your son and spending time with him and all of just phenomenal things. Anything you want to add?
I'll just say believe in yourself, love yourself, and be yourself.
Mm,
Be yourself no matter what anybody else thinks. Be yourself. Be a good person, but be yourself.
be yourself. I love that. Now that you said that, I gotta ask another question because we're talking about being yourself. Is that sense of adventure still in there where you like, there's just two more things I want to do? It's on my list and I just got to do it. What's on that list?
I am planning a trip to Africa with my husband and I in September,
Hmm.
this September.
Oh,
And mostly because I know a girl that I'm pretty close to, and my ex-husband is one of my ex-husband's classmates.
yeah.
She actually spends 3/4 of her time in Ghana. She has a house over there,
Wow.
and she spends her time there. And she's been there since she left here in March. No, April. After the pandemic started, she left here in April and went to Ghana, I guess before they closed up.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been there, but also her daughters have come there like in October of last year. They went to Ghana
Mm-hmm.
and stayed until now. Um, and I found that out because she'll be leaving there in November and coming back to DC. I don't know why, but she's coming back in November. My thing is it's cold in November.
True.
Yeah, that's my thing. So she's leaving in November, so I'm trying to go before she comes back uh, in September. I'm trying to go in September. It's not so bad. You just gotta make sure all your ducks are in the row.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
yeah, and I thought I'd try, and then maybe next time, maybe somebody else might want to go. As it worked out, though, I asked my baby sister Charlene, and she asked my brother, and they're going with us. So I'm
Oh,
really excited about that.
y'all are gonna have to report on this trip to Ghana.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I mean, if things go well, if not, it's in God's hands, and that's all
Mm-hmm.
I can say. Because we had actually planned to go last year, but then the pandemic hit and we weren't going anywhere.
True.
But we both had our vaccines, so we're hoping we still wear our mask,
Yeah.
wear our mask because people down here, the rule down here is you can wear it or not. So, I mean, if you've had the shot, but who do you know whether they
Yeah, that's how it
had,
is here
you
too.
know, because where a lot of people weren't wearing them when before the shots.
True. You're right.
It's crazy. But yeah, we're gonna take a chance on that and go. Because Ghana lets you in, but you have to have the test before you come.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to have the test before you leave. But otherwise, you wear a mask. You have to wear a mask. So
Right, right. You know, one thing I know about Ghana, are you familiar with Queen Afua at all? Her
yeah.
work? She is a wellness practitioner. She's actually been doing teaching womb wellness, overall wellness for like 40 years now. And she
Okay.
has recently, Ghana invited her team, counterparts that she knows there to teach wellness. So and this is just stuff that has just started this year. They've opened up this like wellness exchange between the United States and Ghana. So while you're there, you may try to see what they're doing in that area, because they've got, we talked about vegan lifestyle, we talked about all this. They're really keen on making sure people are living a balanced life, a whole life, eating right, getting their exercise, healing, all of these different things. So while you're there, you probably want to check in to see what's happening in that area.
Good idea. Good idea.
Because they've made it like the president has made it a focus. Like this is something we really want to make a thing, especially with our residents, with the residents of Ghana, and being open to receiving the help from the United States as well. It's
Yeah,
been
they're
it's
a
been
good
amazing.
country. That's a good.
Hmm.
Hmm. I they had several vegan restaurants over there. I've checked out already,
Oh,
and I'm
you saw them online or what?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, look at you.
yeah, girl. That's what I do whenever I go somewhere. I have to Google the vegan
Yeah, I
restaurants.
know that's right. I know that's right.
I used to travel with my food all the time, but now that they are getting more into veganism or vegetarianism, I can find somewhere to eat.
Hmm.
So yeah. So yeah, they
It's
have like
true.
at least five in Ghana.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to that because
Now
I
that's gonna be that food gonna be amazing. Cause think about it, you got them roots, the Ghanaian roots, combined with some wholesome vegan food, them flavors.
I can't wait.
I just already know that's gonna be a combo, a party in my mouth. Well,
Yeah,
your mouth. I ain't gonna get to eat it, but you have to
yeah.
bring some
I
back.
like all types of food. I like all types of food. I don't care what it. I will try it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love Indian food. I love Ethiopian food. I even found a recipe for Ethiopian food on Google.
Really?
Vegan Ethiopian. I eat that. I do try that. I tried the injera, the bread.
I've seen, yeah, that bread tastes good. I've
Yeah,
had it.
I like all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
See, you just explained this. This is gonna be, yeah, you're gonna have to document. All of y'all who's gonna have to document this thing and tell
Yeah.
us all about it. Because not many people get to go, anywhere, even just to travel out of the United States, but not just that, to go to the continent of Africa. Be-
Yeah.
because we're often saying, as you mentioned, you got to go to Germany. We're often saying, oh, I just want to go to the Caribbean, or I want to see Paris. I want to, but
Yeah.
it's it's a
I've been to
world
Paris.
we. Hmm.
I've been to Paris since I was over there. I did go to Paris, and but Africa is the one main trip I'd like to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, this has been a joy. We learned a lot. We laughed. We got some stories. We got some sentimental moments. We got a whole lot of stuff in this interview. Hopefully, y'all learned something. We're going to close out now, and I want you to stick around for a second. But until next time, you can tell everybody bye.
Okay, bye
Bye.
everybody. Thank you, Elmar. That was
Yeah.
very, very nice.